So hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to learn or we are going to understand what is called argparser. So if you are already aware or maybe if you have already watched my last video, that is was a command line argument interface. So this is that was one important concept, that is command line argument, right? So this one, in today video we are going to use argparser. So that is advanced version of the command line argument. So in last video we have, last video about the command line argument, we have used sys module, right? Sys module or sys library. In this case, in today video we are going to use argparse. So this is one important library we are going to understand. So what is different between these two, like this one and system? So this one has given some flexibility, like in any random orders you can take as an argument, and you can, in this case you might have to do lots of manual work if you want to publish some, final version of any command line argument. Suppose you want to build some your own command, right? So in that case you have to handle too many things, but with the help of argparser this is very, comfortable or user friendly way of how to writing the command. Also this provide more control over the command. Okay, so how many argument we can pass, how the order should be the argument, and so more control over and the more structured way of writing the command line argument or creating your own script. Okay, so that is the difference of argparser, or we can say sys. So sys is basically for basic command line argument passing, and argparser is more advanced version or more customized version or more control over the writing the command line. Okay, fine. So let's start one by one. Okay, so first we are going to import. So I'm not going to do here. So let's create a new file, and in this file what we are going to understand, argparse. Okay, so this is these modules we are going to talk about today. Okay, fine. So let's save this file, and I'm giving some name, argparse. Okay, let's save this one. Fine. So the very first thing we have to do, step one, let's also write a step by step. So step one, import the argparse module. Right, so how we can import in Python? So just we have to write import and then arg parse. Fine, the first step is completed. Next step, step 2, create an argument arg argument parser. Okay, so we are going to do one. So how we can do? So let's first create one parser object. You can write any object, and then with doing this we have to use arg parse. Then we have to call the function arg UMENT parser, and then inside you can describe about. So this is basically syntax. Okay, so how we can write this syntax? There is some argument called description. Okay, and inside this description, okay, so equal to, so this is a different parameter. So this is my first arg parser, arg parse program, right, or command, anything. Fine. This is the second step. In third step, we have to add your argument, whatever argument you want to pass. Okay, so first, whenever you are writing the program or command in argument, you have to decide which type of command you are basically you are going to do. So see, so what is meaning of command line? So command line just only give the extra, capability to handle your program, or either you want to take input, or either you want to take some output, or either you want to define a structure, how your program or how your Python script going to run in different environment and different way. So that is itself, this is not itself, this is not in different program, like adding two numbers, summation of this number. So that is different thing. So this is not any different things, just like calculations or performing some functionality. So argparse are basically giving some extra capability to your program. Okay, so this was the thing. So suppose if you want to create some program, and that will take some input. Okay, so obviously in last video in command line argument, we have already seen how to take input from the command line argument. So that is totally the same way it will do here, but just we are this is not we are doing some programming concept, just we are using or doing some extra functionality at a system level. Okay, so or maybe we can define our input or output flow, how we should take input, how output should be there, what are the different number of inputs should be there, how many files should be there, how many output files should be there, what should be your file name. It's like different thing, any number of argument it could be. Okay, so now in third step, third, we have to add argument, any argument you want to add. Okay, argument, augment to the parser. Parser means the object, I'm talking about this object. So let's create the parser. Okay, so this argument. So how we can do that? So let's call parser object first, parser, then add argument. It might be some already some defined methods inside this module. Add argument. In here you define what you want to pass here. So suppose your first argument should be input, right? Input file. Okay, and then if somebody want to need what inside this, or what is hint of this one, just like whenever taking some command input prompt, you have enter some message what is about input file is doing. Okay, so maybe something like, let's suppose we are making some command and argument for copying. Okay, so copying the two different files, so source should be there and destination should be there. Okay, the path to the input file, right, this one again. So this is, so suppose we are making the command for copying, right, for copy something. So in case of copy, there should be source, path, and then should be destination, right, destination path, like that, right, this should be there. So these two are mandatory, right, because if you want to copy, if you want to make the your own command, and we thinking like without these two argument this should not be completed. So might be this will be your input path, input file path, and it might be your output file path. It could be like that. Okay, so suppose we are making for command like that. In moreover, we can also add some optional argument. Okay, so add an optional argument. Right, or sometime it is also called flag. Okay, so how we can do that? So do the same way, parser dot add, this is also argument, and in here we can do like that, this like oh, so flag could be anything or something like that, output. If you want to get more information about this command, so you can add your argument, more information. So basically this optional argument giving the more information about the command. Okay, and you can define like that, maybe even help or something like that. Okay, and the syntax of creating some optional argument is like that, output, right, and then help is offering about the hint about this, what options, what will this option do. Okay, so you can write it here, path to the output file, right, it's like that. So in case maybe we want to make this copy and we want to make it the default, right, or something, right, anything you want to default, or maybe you want to make it mandatory, you can do anyway. Okay, so this one we have added the flag, and after that our final step is step 4, you have to do parse the argument. Okay, so see, you can pass any number of argument. Okay, that is not any issue. Okay, so maybe you want to, maybe you can copy like that. If you are creating some command and that take multiple file as an input and multiple file as output, or maybe multiple file as an input and single file as output, anything it could be, either should be mandatory, either should be optional or flag, you can define your own way, right? So after adding all the argument to this parser, now we have to call one command, one more function. So it could add like then you can add to some variables like args, and then it like parser dot parse, and then args. So this function is already defined in parser object. Fine. Now whatever argument you have taken from the command line. Okay, so basically here we are defining the structure of our command line argument. Okay, so basically how we are taking the input or output, how our command will look like. Okay, so after everything we have taken structured, then we want to print this one. Okay, so what was our input file? So input file path, so you can do like args and input file. Okay, so this one, so basically we have given this is our input file variables. Okay, so then how we can access? The same way you can access, suppose this name is 1. Okay, so you have to access here 1, right, something like that. Or maybe if you are defining multiple thing. Okay, so if you are defining multiple input, like 1 1 2 like that, so in that case you can write it here 1, okay, and then in other line of code, like let me show you, like this you can call, or like this one. So any number of input variables, so in which input variables you taking the file, okay, it not like this is a predefined variables, okay, it's like that. So just remove for this one just for simplicity, and later we'll do more hands-on, and just remove this one, and now this one, okay. So we are printing everything, okay. And the second one is output file path, but in this case you can see this is optional, okay. So we are not making it mandatory. So if you want to pass something as your, okay, first see the complete code, then you will understood or understand more easily, okay. So this one is, or these variables we are using, fine. So this is our complete code, and how can print it, let's, I have already written some of the code, okay. So let me copy paste it here, right. So input file, this was our complete thing. So let's run this one from here. Also you can run your script file from here, okay. So the following, okay, so why we are getting this error, so we have to call this from, let's call it from the terminal, okay. So let's exit, because this is called command line argument, so you have to pass input from the command, okay. We exit from the this from here, okay. So let's make it everything clear, fine. And then I'm going to see where the file is located, okay. So where is our program was located, let's make it cd, and then inside, okay. So maybe this was argparse, check the file name, this was argparser.py, right. So this one arg, and then parser, see which one I'm talking about, so arg parse, okay, parse, okay, fine. Why we are not getting this one, because we have to write the complete file path. So for doing so, how we can do that, just you can copy the change directly like that, okay. Then this one is fine, and I'm talking about arg parse c, where is the file name, so you can check it here, okay. So here it is, okay. So this is file name I'm talking about. So let's call python 3, just directly run it, and then pass the file name. So you can pass any file name, okay. So but this file name does not exist, so but just we are arg parse, okay. So first the python command, then file name, and then this is not file name, this, or this is a script name, then but in our input you can see we are taking some input file and then some output file, so we have to take some input file. So let's check, this should be only name, okay. This exists or not, because we are not doing anything on this input file, right. We are just checking how we are taking the input, because once we are taking input file, we do some operation on that input file, but currently we are only printing the input file name, nothing more, okay. So let's do this one, and also see this output file is optional, okay. So this is not mandatory. So let's rerun it. Not rerun, run this one. Okay, so you can see input file is this and output file is none. And similarly, if you pass some output file, so how you can pass like that? So you have to use this optional, because you have already defined with these options. Okay, with these options you have, it means this is flag. Okay, so if you are typing this flag, it means mandatory you have to pass the output, else it will show error. Okay, you can see getting the error, expected one more argument. So you are getting more closer to how the command line is defined inside the system, how you are making your own command. Okay, so this is the extra flexibility, not flexibility, extra capability to the system or your Python programming, how you can define your own command. Okay, so now you have to parse some file name. So let's suppose I'm giving any file name, output dot txt. Okay, so this is only the name. Okay, this is not mandatory this file name should be exist here or not, but if you are performing some operations on this output file, then this file should be exited, should be exist in the same folder. But currently we are just taking that file name and then displaying the name of that file. Okay, so you can see this is our correct one. Okay, so similarly if you and make it mandatory, so let's I'm making it mandatory, right? Let's how we can make it mandatory like that. So with the help of 2 times single 2 time dash, it is making optional. Okay, there is no any difference, right? Just we are using that. So maybe I'm using this one and this, then I'm using type, and then it will be just I'm defining help something. So if somebody want to get some name, okay, so what should be your help here? Copy command. I'm just giving descriptions about this command. Okay, copy command. So first would be input file and then output file, right? So this is mandatory. So it's like if we want to know what this file is, sometime we forget the command. Okay, so suppose let me show you. So you already know what is ls command, right? So ls, it will show this one, but ls minus l, right? So this will show in this format, but you don't know how the ls work, but you don't know what are different option available. So you can type like that help, right? So you can see, okay, still you are not getting the h. I think you are getting the maybe some ls, like something like that, or let's type help. I think this flag is not defined here. Okay, yeah, fine. So you are getting this one but still not getting. So the purpose here is you can define anything, not only you taking the output file name, also you can define some messages. Okay, what you want to perform on that message, like what this command will do. You can also define some hint about this command. So that's I'm trying to perform here. Okay, but let's run our new changes. Okay, I'm first making the clear. Fine. So this one is our right. Now this one is mandatory here. Okay, because we have already, and now it should be output. So also if you want to change, so you can, this is I'm just talking, this is the variable. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. This is fixed name, you can write anything here, and here it should be like this. Okay, and then again you want to define some messages, cmd or cmd or maybe hint. and then in that case you can write this help arghelp, and then same way you can copy and paste here hint or help, and here you have to just copy this one and this paste it here. Fine. So basically we are structuring our command, okay, how our command should be there and in which order. Okay, so also whenever we are adding, in this way, so first we are adding this input file, then we are adding this one. So first this one is positional. Positional means order should be maintained. So if the first whatever the input will be there, first we'll treat it as first argument, and the next one is treated as the next one. So it means first time we are passing anything that will be stored here, next time will be stored here, and if you want to make with the some flag, you have to do like that. So then you can get the same order, in the same order you can get from here. Okay, so in which order we are passing there, or maybe if you want to make some random, so you have to use some flag, right? So this one let's enter here. Okay, so why we are getting the error? Input file, output file. Okay, so maybe this one here, if you are defining some thing like that, or maybe you can define some anything, okay, like that. If you want to define, okay, let's make it the same h. If you want to define some this one h, then it should be some action. Okay, I think only for this command. Let me first let's check this one, is this working or not. I'm just based on the error, I'm just trying to fix store true. Okay, save this file. Okay, so it conflicting options because already some file is there. Okay, so let's making t and hint. Because this is a standard things already defined in this command prompt, so that's why you're getting this one. Okay, so let's did you mean args? Oh sorry, here we made the mistake. Okay, so now you can see here input this, output to this. So if you do not type any of these things, you will get the error. Okay, because this we are making mandatory, right? We are making mandatory. If you want to define some optional, you have to make or you have to define in this way, right? So in that case it was optional. If you want to type something h or t, okay, so true here. Okay, just we are printing here, so this value. So there is some other use cases for this one. Okay, but in this case I was explaining what is meaning of this. Okay, how the command line argument work. Yeah, in more details it could be there. I'm just giving the brief introduction how everything is working. Okay, so that's all everyone for this video. If you want more such video on this topic, I will create the detailed descriptive video on this one. So currently for this video I was just try to explain how the command line argument work. Okay, command line argument means with the help of argparser or argparse. Okay, so let's meet in another one. So thank you for watching.